And now I'll recognize the ranking member of the committee for her statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, especially for holding today's hearing and allowing the subcommittee the opportunity to follow up on last year's hearing examining the FCC's Universal Service Fund reforms. I believe that hearing, along with the one held by former Chairman Akaka in the Senate, did a good job of highlighting how the reforms could impact tribal communities. It is crucial that we are updated on the effects of the FCC's transition plans for the USF, and especially the planned phase-out of the high-cost program and the implementation of the Connect America Fund on tribal communities. This issue is especially important to me as I want to understand the possible effects these reforms have on Native Hawaiian homelands. Last Congress, all the witnesses indicated that the reform's impact would be great and the financial burden imposed by reduction in financial support even greater. Today's hearing addresses whether and how these impacts and burdens have come to pass in the year since we received testimonies from these tribal telecommunication providers. Much has occurred in Hawaii and across the nation regarding the continued implementation of USF reforms, and it is the right time to follow up and get an update from tribal leaders and tribal communication providers. Unfortunately, the FCC has chosen not to testify today. It would have been beneficial to hear from them directly on how they are addressing the concerns raised at last year's hearing. I plan to follow up with them with questions for the record, and I expect to get their full cooperation answering these questions. I'd like to thank Al He, President of Sandwich Isle Communications, for flying out here from Hawaii to testify today and answer what are going to be pointed questions about his business practices. In the order denying his company's waiver petition, the FCC stated, "We conclude that Sandwich Isles has failed to show good cause for a waiver at this time. In particular, Sandwich Isles seeks a waiver that would allow it to retain a number of significant and wasteful expenses totaling many millions of dollars, including significant payments to a number of affiliated and closely related companies. Indeed, Sandwich Isles' corporate expenses are 622% greater than the average for companies of similar size with the highest corporate operations expense." And they go on to say, "We conclude that Sandwich Isles has certain expenses that appear grossly excessive and unreasonable. In particular, Sandwich Isles has spent millions of dollars with affiliated and related entities for services that appear unrelated to the provision of broadband-capable network." The people have a right to know about these allegations, and we in Congress have an obligation to get to the bottom of this. Finally, it is my strong belief that Indian country, the Native Alaskans, and the Hawaiian homelands need and deserve the benefits of a modern communications infrastructure that includes voice, broadband, and mobile services equal to the rest of the country. That, after all, is why this whole program was started to begin with. The Universal Service Fund is a way to spread our most important technological capabilities to homes and businesses across the nation, and we should be vigilant in ensuring that no one, especially residents of Indian country and the Hawaiian homelands, as well as people of your state, my good friend, no one gets left behind. And I yield back the balance of my time.
I thank